first, this is Kennadi Brink.
Kennadi Brink makes her way into the squared circle for our next bout, and she is in for one hell of an uphill battle. As her opponent makes her way to ringside. I think you'll all be pleased with this. Right there, that is a veteran of the professional wrestling game. Make no mistake about it, and one of the toughest women you will ever do battle with, as Jazz makes her way to the ring. You want to talk about a veteran as she makes her way around ringside, shaking hands with all these great fans. You've got it right here, nearly 20-year veteran in Jazz. And Kennadi Brink is in some serious trouble right now. Jazz, a little sip of water, and go to MLJ for the introduction.
And introducing her opponent, ladies and gentlemen, this is
Double tough competitor, originally from New Orleans, Louisiana. Has seen and done it all in professional wrestling. Nearly 20 years in this business. Starting in getting her first claim to fame in ECW in the late 90s. Jazz, double tough competitor, has held numerous championships throughout the world, and she and Kennadi Brink are going to go one-on-one here at the WrestleCon Women's Super Show.
You know, this is going to be a hell of a match, Rich.
I'm very excited for it. Kennadi Brink trying to get the Brink champ going here. I mean, she is a phenomenal athlete, but we're talking about a nearly 20-year veteran in Jazz who has seen and done it all in this world of professional wrestling. And she looks great.
Oh, she certainly does.
Always keeps herself in tip-top condition. Just a real genuinely pleasant person to be around, unless you're opposite the other side of the ring with her.
Yeah, then it would be very unpleasant and not very much fun. But I'm sure Kennadi Brink is up to handle this challenge. Somewhat of a local to this, to Florida. She has moved down to this area, I believe. And this is sort of like a home game for her.
Yeah, I was saying originally from New Orleans, Louisiana. Yes, as you said, now residing in the state of Florida. Big part of WrestleCon. Very, very popular. Long lines at her table today, yesterday and today at the big fan interaction event over at the Hyatt. WrestleCon has just taken over Orlando. Make no mistakes about it. Between the Wyndham, where we are now, and the Hyatt Regency, which is about a mile up the road, mile and a half maybe.
Right, yeah, we're just sprawling across the land here in Orlando.
I'm jealous of people like me.
Whoa, hey.
And speaking of New Orleans, the hometown of Jazz, like we said earlier, join us for WrestleCon 2018 next year in New Orleans, as Kennadi Brink might be barking up the wrong tree right here. I wouldn't even want to be on the receiving end of a shove from Jazz, no doubt about it.
See it there. I mean, Kennadi Brink, larger in stature than Jazz, and she just got shoved down with the quickness. A lot of strength packed into that frame of Jazz.
Yeah, she's no more than 5'4", and she packs one hell of a wallop, that's for sure. Waistlock takedown by Jazz.
Saw some more of that strength. They were able to lift up Kennadi Brink and slam her down to the mat. Ooh, rolling over with that front chancery.
Again, controlling the head now, hooks the arm, float over into a lateral press, only a count of 1, goes right back to the head.
Oh, and tripping the leg out from underneath her. Kennadi Brink in a seated position, and Jazz is kind of wrestling circles around Kennadi Brink, quite literally.
I've seen Kennadi Brink a few times via the interwebs, if you will.
The information superhighway, you say?
Exactly, yes. I hear it's going to be a big thing someday. And you've been around Kennadi Brink a little bit longer. A couple years experience?
Yeah, a handful of years, and you know, she did have some setbacks with some injuries during that time, but you know, she's back. She's looking better than ever. She's, you know, at one point, you know, we're seeing her now, but this is after a weight loss situation, similar to Jessica Havoc, where she dropped a whole bunch of weight and is looking better than ever, better physical condition, better cardiovascular abilities, and you know, she's showing that here in the ring against the Jazz.
But will the many years of experience that Jazz holds be the deciding factor when all is said and done in this bout here at the WrestleCon Women's Super Show?
Kennadi Brink controlling Jazz by the back of her head and slamming her face first into the top turnbuckle.
Jazz first came into the limelight the old days of ECW as part of the Impact Players faction.
And some almost 20 years later, still making an impact in this sport.
You were probably just a baby when that was happening, but for an old guy like me, I was there, I saw it live. As she's pounding away on the lower back.
I saw you on some of those old ECW shows, by the way.
Yes, I had very long flowing hair, didn't I?
Yes, yes indeed.
Oh my goodness. Series of boots to the midsection, immobilizing, trying to keep Kelly Brink in that corner. Snapmare out of the corner, right into the center of the ring. Just drops her over and goes for the lateral press and gets 2.
It was interesting that time with that snapmare. It looked like she snapped Kennadi Brink over the entirety of her body and not just over the shoulder. A little bit of extra impact.
Yeah.
You know, it might be a half a foot, maybe 3/4, you know, like 9 inches more of a fall, but still, that's going to do a little bit more damage.
Without a doubt. 2-time WWE Women's Champion is Jazz. And I said it earlier, probably before you got over here, very well traveled. I mean,
oh yeah,
she's been everywhere. She's done everything.
Pull up her profile on cagematch.net. You'll see a veritable who's who. Whatever state, whatever promotion, Jazz has been there.
No doubt about it. She's been on the biggest stages, and she's been worldwide for a number of years, and like I said, just a real pleasant person, but all business in that ring.
She better get to business sooner or later, because Kennadi Brink is putting a hurting on her in her left arm. Looks like she's isolated the body part she wants to work on here.
Brink obviously much taller than Jazz. Has her down on the canvas now. Now if you're Kennadi Brink and you got a competitor like Jazz down on the mat, why aren't you hooking a leg?
Yeah, you got to hook everything. I mean, you know, if it was me, I'd be in there hooking tights, hooking hair, hooking anything I can get. I mean, I would have to break the rules to beat Jazz. Let's face it.
You would need a crowbar.
Yeah.
You would need some brass knuckles.
All the international objects.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No doubt, no doubt.
Ooh, Jazz drops down to her knees, jacking the jaw of Kennadi Brink. Coming off the rope, sunset flip, trying to go to Jazz, but Kennadi Brink gets out of it.
Well,
And
yeah, very well done. She grabbed one of the arms, tried to grab an upper hand, and what does Jazz do? A series of knees right to the back of the head. Kennadi Brink staying right on top of her.
I'm sure those knees rang the bell of Kennadi Brink a few times, but she's not going to let that get in her way. She's got the advantage, and she's got to press it. And you notice now, with the way she's kicking Jazz, she's targeting that left arm still.
And look, she's got that leg hooked. Kennadi Brink trying to get over to that rope to force some kind of a submission. Or Kennadi trying to get to the ropes to prevent Jazz from forcing the submission. And she gets there. Referee calls for the break. Jazz releases the hold. She was telling the ref she was about to tap, but hey, the rules are the rules. She's in those ropes. And Brink now.
Just gave up, lady!
Just give up, lady.
She must not know Jazz very well. Jazz is never going to give up.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
Kennadi Brink might be a little bit too overconfident at this point. Running her mouth like that, maybe losing a little bit of focus. She said, just give up, and then went for the lateral press. Like you said earlier, no hook of the leg. Wonder what's going on inside of the head of Kennadi Brink. That's not just your regular, everyday professional wrestler you're in there with. You're in there with Jazz. You're gonna want to do a little bit better than that.
Win, lose, or draw. One thing Kennadi Brink's going to come out of here with, and that's a newfound respect for Jazz and a whole lot more experience.
Yeah, she's going to get an education, and she's got one right now. Jazz going to work on Kennadi Brink. Kicks to the midsection, right to the rib area. And a spinning back kick.
Got her right on the jaw, but only gets 2. Says our fine official.
Right on top of the action is Frankie. Good guy. Ooh.
Off the ropes, takes her over. Now she's got the head hooked. And she made her tapped.
Holy cow.
Nobody saw that coming. Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this contest, Kennadi Brink.
Winner by submission, Kennadi Brink, and not selling her short in any way, but that just came out of nowhere. She just got her right off the ropes, hooked the leg, hooked the head, and that neck was wrenched, and Jazz tapped. She tapped out quick. The damage was done. And huge victory for Kennadi Brink. Congratulations. As she just made a former 2-time WWE Women's Champion just tap out here at the WrestleCon Women's Super Show. A great match. And Jazz gonna go over and shakes her hand. Great show of sportsmanship here. It was all business in the ring, but Jazz taps out to Kennadi Brink. And the action will continue here in Orlando.